Welcome to another episode of Mallett Unchained, where no mask fits, no chains hold, and no story is ever wasted. I'm going to read to you from my newest work, Chapter 1 of the Scroll of the Beast, the Eviction. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given them over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Revelation 13:7 and 8. The decree cracked the heavens. The United Nations will no longer reside on American soil. President Donald J. Trump's voice thundered across every screen and radio, dissected in seconds by pundits and spun into hashtags before the echo had even faded. But beneath the roar of men, another voice whispered, the voice of prophecy itself. For too long, he declared, America has been exploited by globalists who despise us. They drain our wealth, they use our land, they hide behind their blue flags while lecturing us. Those days are over. Effective immediately, the United Nations headquarters in New York is closed. Pack your bags, get out, Donald Trump says. The world convulsed. Babel tore down. On First Avenue, chaos boiled. Protesters surged like two rivers colliding. On one side, flags waved high, voices roaring, USA, USA. A construction worker clambered onto a barricade and bellowed, send them packing. Veterans shouted with him, fists clenched, throats raw. On the other, blue banners rose, Global Justice Now. A student live streamed in tears, this is the end of diplomacy, this is war. Sirens wailed, helicopters chopped, mounted police shoved through smoke and chanting. Inside the tower, portraits were torn from walls, offices stripped bare. Elena Petrova, a Russian interpreter, stumbled on the steps, her box of papers scattering. Cameras zoomed in on her tear-streaked face. For an instant, her vision blurred, and she saw the UN tower become Babel, rising into the heavens. Nations chanted at its base. A handlight struck it. The tower shattered. The nations scattered like ants. She blinked, and the vision was gone. Only sirens, only smoke. I thought, she whispered, we were building peace. She sat in silence for one long breath, clutching her photo of her children while the mob raged around her. Gog awakens. In the Kremlin, Vladimir Putin stood in silence, eyes fixed on Ukraine glowing red on the map. Generals barked, opportunity, madness. He silenced them with a glance. His eyes stayed on the red. Without the United Nations, he murmured, there is no referee. There is only power. Gog will rise again. That night he dreamed of bones, tanks like skeletons, missiles like broken teeth. A voice whispered, you will come from your place out of the far north like a storm. He woke with sweat on his brow, but no fear, only resolve. The kings of the East. In Beijing, Xi Jinping, voice cut clean. Without America, the UN is ours to inherit. The world will look east. His generals shifted uneasily. A scholar at the table scribbled Revelation's cadence. The Euphrates drying. Armies marching in endless dust. His hand scrawled, the kings of the East are coming. Across the city, a banker whispered to his wife, the yuan will not survive this chaos. They're already speaking of digital coins that can be tracked. And in an Indian village, a farmer scanned his Aadhaar card to buy rice. The shopkeeper muttered, "Without this, we don't eat." The system was already in their pockets. Psalms 83. In the streets in Jerusalem, reports pounded the war council table. Iran mobilizing, Turkey advancing, Hezbollah awakened. Prime Minister Levi Ben David pressed his psalms into the steel. Praying aloud, they conspire with one accord, saying, "Come, let us wipe them out as a nation." Sirens screamed. In Tel Aviv, a stairwell, Miriam Levi clutched her 3 children as the ground trembled. She whispered, "He who keeps Israel neither slumber nor sleeps." She closed her eyes and saw vultures circling Jerusalem. But upon the wall stood one like bronze, eyes of fire, sword drawn. He lifted his hand, and the vultures scattered. The stairwell shook again. Dust rained. Rockets hissed across the sky. But Miriam drew her children close and whispered from Psalm 91. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. You shall not fear the terror by night, nor the arrow that flies by day. For one moment, silence filled her heart, though the sirens still wailed. The Scarlet Woman. In Rome, the bells tolled, tourists laughed, sipping espresso. But Caroline Parker saw the fountain shimmer red. For a heartbeat, she saw a woman clothed in scarlet and purple, seated on a beast with 7 heads. Nation bows, cups of blood in their hands. She gasped. The vision dissolved. India. Oh, but inside the basilica, crimson robes whispered, "The world will need a stage and a shepherd." In a shadowed chamber, the man in white whispered, "Peace." His reflection rippled for a breath. A serpent coiled upon a throne. His aide trembled. "Holy Father, what kind of peace?" He smiled. "The kind that binds." Testimonies in the shadows. On a street corner in New York, a ragged preacher lifted his megaphone. "Babel has fallen. The beast rises where you least expect." In Berlin, Pastor Lucas whispered, "Rome will gather the nations. The covenant of peace will chain the world." Yet Revelation 14 says, "Here is the patience of the saints we endure." At the Western Wall, a rabbi cried, "Fear not the missiles, fear the covenant after." In Tehran, a prisoner etched with stone, "The Lamb still reigns." In the Vatican archives, a young priest copied Enoch. In those days, lawless kings will rise, and the last shall devour the world. And in the silence of his cell, the prisoner lifted his voice, "Though Rome binds, the Lamb has broken the chains. Jesus Christ, Yeshua, reigns forever." The scrolls cry. Babel crumbled. Gog stirred. Kings of the East whispered. Psalm 83 thundered in Jerusalem. Scarlet shimmered in Rome. The serpent smiled from white robes. The saints testified in whispers and in chains. The Lamb still reigns. And the scroll declared with thunder's clarity, "The scroll of the beast has begun." And that is the end of the first chapter of the scroll of the beast. Stay tuned because we're writing a full novel on this one that's gonna turn the world on its head. Mallett Unchained, baby. Mallett Unchained.